is the new Bajaj Pulsar NS400Z. It is not only the most powerful, fastest or most equipped Pulsar, but it is also the most aggressively priced. At 2.14 lakh rupees on-road Mumbai, the new Pulsar NS400Z not only undercuts all its rivals in the segment, but it also undercuts certain motorcycles that are positioned below the 400cc segment. And to be honest, this is something that is only expected by Bajaj because they have access to something that no other Indian brands have, and that is KTM, Husqvarna, and even Gas for that matter. So what happens is they have access to a wide range of platform and powertrain, and as a result of that, the overall development cost comes really low. And when that happens, Bajaj gets an opportunity to price their bikes really competitively. This bike is one example. Now, we have already given you a first impression of this motorcycle a couple of weeks ago. So in this video, we're going to just come straight to the point and we're going to tell you 5 things that we really like about this motorcycle and 2 things that we didn't. But before we proceed, please like and share this video and don't forget to subscribe to BikeWale. The first thing I like about this motorcycle is the performance, and thanks to this engine, it's a 373cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine, and some of you guys know that it's the same engine that we see on the Dominar 400, and I loved that engine for a lot of reasons. First is the torque delivery. The mid-range of that motorcycle was extremely strong, and it is the same story with this bike. But with the Pulsar NS400, I liked the tractability a little more than the Dominar because I was doing 60 km/h in 6th gear, and that is such a boon to have when you're riding city most of the time. But I also tell you something, it's been a long since I really pushed a motorcycle, and I did with this motorcycle somewhere in Bombay, and it was doing some incredible speeds that really surprised. The Pulsar NS400Z gets its power from a 373cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled motor. And this isn't a new engine. It has done duties on few other Bajaj and KTM bikes. Being in the 400cc segment, the performance of this motor has to excite the riders. And in some ways, it does. But the surge in power only comes post 4000 RPM and the excitement stays till 7000 RPM. Post that, there are a decent amount of vibrations. This engine doesn't feel strained in triple-digit speeds, but the vibes on the handlebar and the foot pegs plays a big spoilsport. Having said that, the Pulsar NS400Z is fun to ride on the highways. I really like the bike's ability to stay stable at high speed. In the city, this Bajaj is quite friendly thanks to the smooth and light clutch and decently distributed overall weight. Even the overall handling nature of the bike isn't great. The Pulsar NS400Z doesn't feel natural or communicative. I expected to have a fun feeling, but I was disappointed most of the time. I clearly remember how fun the Pulsar NS200 was. Its 400cc version failed to excite me in that department. The suspension of the bike is on the firmer side. Something shouldn't be the case for a city bike. The minor undulations are taken care of, but this is a fast bike. So when you hit a decently sized pothole, the lower back takes a lot of beating. Somehow the plusness from the setup was missing. Now, features is a department where Bajaj shines quite a bit. But with the new Pulsar NS400Z, they have taken things to a whole new level. Now, majority of the features that you see on these motorcycles are also seen on almost the entire KTM lineup that is sold in India, and also in some Triumph motorcycles. And that's a very good thing to have because at this price point, Indian consumers are getting features that are actually seen on motorcycles that are priced at about 3.5 lakh, even 4 lakh for that matter. Firstly, the Pulsar NS400Z gets LED lights all over, headlight, turn indicators and also tail light. But the headlight now gets a projector lamp, which works quite well. The instrument cluster on the bike is new and it shows decent amount of information. It gets Bluetooth integration, and that means turn-by-turn navigation comes as standard. Through this cluster, you can also handle calls and SMS and also time the laps in case you are the racetrack guy. The bike is also equipped with 4 riding modes: road, rain, off-road and sport. The dual-channel ABS system is standard, something we see in most premium bikes these days. I'm someone who loves long distance ride, especially the unplanned ones. And when I say long distance, I'm talking about 3000 kilometers and up. Now, while I've not ridden this motorcycle for that long, but I can tell you that this motorcycle has the capability to give you an intense and a comfortable long distance touring experience. Now, why do I say that? Well, because when you have an engine like this and the overall seating triangle like this, plus the amount of space you have on the seat, and especially for your luggage, there is good amount of seat at on the pillion, and then you also have good amount of points for your bungee cords. So when you combine all these aspects, you get a motorcycle that will allow you to ride for long durations. Now, over 2 days, I have ridden this motorcycle for 500 kilometers, and to be honest, I mean, when you combine all these aspects, I have done, I had a very good experience over 2 days, and I can't wait for Bajaj to give us this motorcycle for about 2-3 weeks so that, I can just go for a really long distance ride. Bajaj motorcycles are known for its affordable after-sales service. And when I say affordable, I'm talking about the cost of spares and the access of spares and also the overall servicing cost. The usual affordability applies to the entire range, be it a CT100 or say a Pulsar 250 or a N250. And I'm sure it applies the same to this motorcycle as well. This is possibly their most advanced Pulsar and also the most powerful Pulsar. So when it comes to long-term ownership cost of this bike, you are meant to save a couple of ₹1,000 more every single year.
Plus, the availability of spares for this brand is never a problem, and that is such an important factor these days.
Multiple riding modes, traction control system, ride-by-wire, digital instrument cluster with Bluetooth connectivity, and some more features, and all of these features at 2.14 lakh rupees on road in Mumbai. I think it is safe to say the new Bajaj Pulsar NS400Z is one of the most value-for-money motorcycles ever launched in the history of Indian two-wheeler segment. Be it a 100cc motorcycle or a 400cc motorcycle, the kitna dete hai question applies everywhere, and that's why at BikeWale, we always try to bring you the right fuel efficiency figure. Now, we did a city fuel run of this motorcycle and we got an efficiency of 35 km to a litre, which is quite good for a motorcycle this size. Sadly, we have not got a chance to test the efficiency on the highways because of limited time, but we will do that when we take this motorcycle, say, for about 2,500-3,000 km touring test in the next few months. The first thing I didn't like about this motorcycle is its overall styling and aesthetics. Now, you're paying over 2 lakh rupees for this motorcycle and it's a premium motorcycle, but you are getting a design and styling of a motorcycle that is almost a decade-year old. I'm talking about the Pulsar NS200 because majority of the styling, I mean, even the dimensions are different from the NS200, but a lot of design aesthetics have been borrowed from that bike. So in the world of premium motorcycle, you want a product that makes you feel special, that leaves you in awe. This motorcycle doesn't give you that feeling purely because, well, it's not a brand new design. The overall styling is not really exciting. But I have to tell you this, when you look at the motorcycle from the front and from the front three-quarter, the bike does show a bit of a muscular stance.
Especially the front brake lever had poor feel, and that isn't a great aspect to have on a 400cc motorcycle. The rear brake offered progressive performance. Even the overall handling nature of the bike isn't great. The Pulsar NS400Z doesn't feel natural or communicative. I expected to have a fun feeling, but I was left disappointed most of the time.
I think this has been one of my most easiest verdicts to give. And I think I'm just going to say it. The Pulsar NS400Z is a must-buy. And it's a must-buy for people who are in the market for a motorcycle that offers really good performance, offers some practical and feel-good features, and all of this at a very good price point. But also, because it's a Bajaj, you will also not spend a lot of money in after-sales experience. And to be honest, I know this bike loses a lot of points when it comes to overall styling and aspiration, but I am okay to forget all of it because at 2.33 lakh rupees on road, I am getting a 400cc liquid-cooled motorcycle with so many features. So, ekdam mast bike hai, and I think If you're going to commute a lot and also want to go touring on weekends, the Pulsar NS400Z is the bike for you.